All right, so get this. AI is everywhere these days,
Yeah.
but it's not all sunshine and roses
No, not exactly.
because you know where there's innovation,
Uh,
where scammers,
Always one step ahead, those scammers.
they are. So today we are diving into the world of AI scams. We're going to learn about the latest tricks and, most importantly, how to protect ourselves.
That's right, because the scams are getting incredibly sophisticated. We're talking deepfakes, phishing emails that are practically personalized, even entire fake websites.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Mm.
So let's jump right in with a story that I think will really open your eyes.
Okay, let's hear it.
Have you ever heard of the president scam?
Oh, yeah, a classic.
But guess what? It's gotten a serious AI upgrade.
Oh, no. How so?
Well, picture this.
Yeah.
You're at work, and suddenly you get a video call from your CEO.
Okay, yeah.
They seem stressed, saying there's an emergency, and they need you to transfer a large sum of money immediately.
Oh, no. I see where this is going.
Yep, you're looking at a deep fake, my friend. A scammer using AI to impersonate your boss.
It's scary how convincing these deepfakes are getting.
I know, and the craziest part, it's actually working.
Really?
There was a case this year where a company was tricked out of a whopping 24 million euros because of a deepfake video call.
24 million euros. That's unbelievable.
I know, right? It's a wake-up call that we can't just trust our eyes anymore.
Absolutely. We need to be more vigilant than ever.
So besides these deepfake video calls, what other kinds of AI scams are out there?
Well, there's a surge in fake travel websites. Imagine you're planning a vacation and you find this amazing deal online.
Yeah,
The website looks totally legit. It's got reviews, pictures, everything.
but it's all fake.
Exactly. AI is being used to create these incredibly convincing websites designed to steal your credit card information and personal details.
So how do they actually make these websites? Is it like some super complicated process?
Not really. It's surprisingly easy with the AI tools available these days. They can basically scrape data from real websites and use that to build a copycat, complete with fake reviews and testimonials.
It's like a digital mirage. It looks real, but it's just an illusion to trap you.
Precisely. And this isn't just happening with travel websites. We're seeing it in e-commerce, finance, you name it.
So basically, any website could potentially be a fake.
It's a possibility. That's why it's so important to be cautious and verify everything before you hand over any personal information.
Okay, so fake websites, deepfake videos, anything else we should be worried about?
Oh, definitely. Don't forget about personalized phishing emails. These are really dangerous.
Yeah, I've heard about those. But what makes them so different from regular spam?
Well, AI is giving scammers the ability to personalize these emails like never before. They can mimic the sender's writing style perfectly, making it almost impossible to tell it's a fake.
So I could get an email that looks exactly like it's from my bank.
Exactly. They could ask you to update your account info, and you might not think twice about it. But it's all a scam to steal your login credentials.
Oh, wow. So it's like they're using AI to profile us and tailor these scams to our specific interests.
Exactly. That's what makes them so effective. It's not just some generic spam anymore. It's a targeted attack.
Okay, this is getting really scary. Deepfake calls, fake websites, hyper-personalized emails. Is there anything else? What about document forgery? That seems like a big issue now, too.
Oh, you're right. We can't forget about that. We've seen a dramatic rise in cases of digital documents being forged. It's actually overtaken physical counterfeiting for the first time this year.
Wow, seriously?
Yeah, and by a huge margin. We're talking a 244% increase.
244%. Geez. What kind of documents are we talking about?
Well, pretty much anything you can think of. Passports, driver's licenses, contracts, financial statements. If it can be used for identification or financial transactions, it's a target.
And I'm guessing AI is making it easier than ever to create these forgeries.
Absolutely. AI tools can analyze real documents and use that data to make copies that are almost impossible to spot with the naked eye.
So how do we even begin to protect ourselves in this digital minefield of scams? It feels like we're constantly playing catch-up with the scammers.
Well, you're not wrong. It can be overwhelming, but that doesn't mean we're helpless. There are things we can do. First and foremost, verification is key. Don't just take things at face value. Don't click on links or believe everything you see online.
So basically, don't let our guard down, even if something looks official or seems to come from a trusted source.
Exactly. And the good news is, technology can also be our ally in this fight. Yeah, there are some really great tools out there. Have you heard of Trend Microcheck?
Actually, yeah, I've seen ads for it, but I'm not really sure what it does.
Well, it's like having a personal bodyguard for your online activity.
Okay, that sounds intense. Tell me more.
Basically, it uses a combination of AI and human intelligence to analyze anything you're looking at online.
Any
Yeah, like if you get an email that seems fishy or you're not sure if a website's legit, you can run it through Trend Microcheck.
and it'll tell me if it's a scam.
Yep. It can cross-reference links, images, even the text, with a huge database of known scams.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
It can even check the reputation of websites and social media accounts. So it's a really handy tool for staying safe online.
So it's like having a digital detective working for me.
Exactly. And there are other similar apps and services out there too. Some even have deepfake scan features.
Deepfake scan. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, they can help you figure out if a video has been manipulated.
Okay, so technology is fighting back against technology. It's good to know.
It is. And it's important to remember that even though deepfakes are getting better, there are still some signs that can give them away.
Like what? How can I spot a deepfake?
Well, pay attention to things like blinking. Does it seem natural? Or the way the mouth moves when they're talking. Are the lip movements in sync with the words?
I never thought about that.
Yeah. Sometimes you can also see subtle distortions in the video or audio. It might be like a slight blurring around the edges or something.
Okay, so it's all about being observant and looking for those little imperfections.
Right. And on the topic of things that are increasingly convincing, we have to talk about chatbots.
Chatbots. Are those being used in scams too?
Oh yeah, big time. Scammers are using AI-powered chatbots to pull off all sorts of scams like cryptorome or pig butchering.
Pig butchering? What in the world is that?
Well, it's kind of disturbing, actually. The scammer will use the chatbot to build a relationship with you online.
So it seems like you're talking to a real person.
Exactly. They might spend weeks or even months chatting with you, gaining your trust, and then, bam, they hit you with a scam.
Usually something involving investments or cryptocurrency.
You got it. And because you've been talking to this chatbot for so long, you feel like you know them and trust them.
So you're more likely to fall for the scam.
Right. It's pretty insidious.
Wow. So I guess the lesson here is trust but verify even when you're interacting with someone online, especially if you've never actually met them in person.
Exactly. And it's not just about being cautious, it's about being proactive, taking steps to protect yourself before you become a victim.
Okay, so let's talk about those steps. What are some practical things we can do to boost our online security? I know strong passwords are important, but is there anything else?
Yeah, strong passwords are definitely the foundation. Make sure you're using a unique, complex password for every single account you have. And if you have trouble keeping track of them all, which most people do, consider using a password manager.
I love password managers. They make life so much easier.
Right. And whenever you have the option, enable multi-factor authentication.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. What exactly does that do?
It basically adds an extra layer of security to your accounts. So even if someone does manage to steal your password, they still can't get in.
So it's like having double lock on your door.
Exactly. It makes it a lot harder for the scammers to break in.
What about protecting our devices themselves? Is there anything we can do to make them more secure?
Absolutely. First things first, keep everything up to date. Your operating system, your apps, your antivirus software, all of it.
So those update notifications, don't ignore them.
Right. Those updates often contain security patches that fix vulnerabilities, so it's really important to install them.
Okay, good to know. Anything else?
Be very careful about downloading apps or software from unofficial sources.
So stick to official app stores and websites.
Exactly. You never know what might be lurking in those downloads from shady websites.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, what about public Wi-Fi? Is it safe to use?
You know, public Wi-Fi is super convenient, but it can also be risky. Avoid doing anything sensitive like online banking or shopping while you're connected to public Wi-Fi.
So no checking my bank balance while I'm sipping a latte at the coffee shop.
Probably best to avoid that. If you really need to use public Wi-Fi, consider using a VPN.
A VPN.
It stands for Virtual Private Network. Basically, it creates a secure tunnel for your internet traffic, so hackers can't snoop on your data.
Oh, that's smart. So it's like having a private bodyguard for my online activity.
Exactly. It adds an extra layer of protection, especially on public networks.
Okay, good to know. Now, we talked earlier about how businesses are often targeted by these AI-powered scams. What can they do to protect themselves? It seems like they have even more to lose than individuals.
Absolutely. Businesses, especially small and medium-sized ones, are prime targets because they often don't have the same cybersecurity resources as large corporations.
So where should they start? What are the most important things for them to focus on?
Well, investing in robust cybersecurity is essential. That means things like multi-factor authentication for all employees, AI-powered network monitoring to detect any suspicious activity, and data segmentation to limit the damage if there is a breach.
Data segmentation, what's that?
It's basically dividing your company's data into different categories and storing it separately.
So if one part of the system gets compromised, the whole thing doesn't go down.
Exactly. It helps contain the damage.
That's a really clever strategy, like having multiple vaults instead of putting all your valuables in one place.
Exactly. And just like we talked about for individuals, employee training is crucial for businesses too.
So make sure everyone knows how to spot a phishing attempt and what to do if they think something's fishy.
Right. Everyone needs to be aware of the risks and how to avoid them. It's about creating a culture of security awareness within the company.
Okay, so everyone needs to be on the same page and working together to stay safe.
Exactly. And here's the good news. Businesses can actually use AI to fight back against these scams. There are AI-powered fraud detection platforms that can analyze transactions in real time and flag anything suspicious.
Oh, that sounds promising.
Yeah, and there are identity verification tools that can help businesses verify the identities of their customers and partners.
So they can be sure they're not dealing with a scammer.
Right. So in a way, AI is both the problem and the solution.
It's like a digital arms race.
Yeah,
The good guys and the bad guys are both using AI to try and outsmart each other.
exactly. And it's a race that we need to win if we want to create a safer online world for everyone.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today. From the dangers of AI scams to the tools and strategies we can use to protect ourselves. It's pretty wild, right? All this stuff with AI. Like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, but it's real life. So before we wrap up this deep dive into AI scams, is there like one big takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
I think the most important thing is just awareness. Understanding that AI is changing the whole game when it comes to scams, making them more sophisticated, harder to spot. Don't be like, oh, it'll never happen to me.
Right, because that's when it probably will.
Exactly.
So no being complacent. We got to stay on our toes.
Absolutely.
So like right now, what are some things people can do to start protecting themselves?
Okay, well, first and foremost, those passwords, make them strong, and turn on that multi-factor authentication wherever you can.
Yeah, good one.
Really important. And be mindful of what you're sharing online.
Yeah.
Because scammers use that information to tailor their attacks. And really think before you click on any links or open attachments, especially if they're from someone you don't know.
It's like stranger danger, but for the internet.
Exactly. And listen, if a deal seems too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah, that's a classic one.
It is. Scammers love to use those tempting offers to reel people in.
So don't let that bargain blindness get you.
Right. And if you're ever unsure about something, like an email or a website, just reach out to the company directly.
Okay, so verify, verify, verify.
Exactly.
Now, what about reporting scams? Is that important?
Oh, it's crucial.
That-
Yeah, when you report scams, it helps authorities track those trends, try to identify the scammers, and maybe even stop other people from becoming victims.
So it's not just about protecting ourselves, it's about helping others too.
Absolutely. It's a community effort.
Now, we've been focusing a lot on the threats, but I kind of want to end on a more positive note.
Okay.
AI is not all bad, right? Like, it can do some pretty amazing things too.
Of course not. AI has incredible potential. I mean, think about healthcare, education, even transportation.
It's really changing the world.
And is.
So how do we navigate this whole thing? AI's got this good side, this scary side. It's kind of complicated.
It is complicated, for sure. But I think the key is responsible development. Thinking about the ethical implications of AI.
Yeah.
Making sure it's being used to benefit humanity, not hurt it.
It's like any powerful technology, really.
Yeah.
It all comes down to the intentions of the people using it.
Well said. And I do believe we can harness the power of AI for good while being mindful of the risks.
Yeah, me too.
It's all about finding that balance.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing all this with us. It's been really insightful.
You're welcome.
And to all our listeners out there, stay informed, stay vigilant, and remember, knowledge is power. By understanding the threats and taking steps to protect ourselves, we can all enjoy the benefits of AI without falling victim to the scams. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.